Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. In this video I'll be looking at AQA's Paper 2 Question 1 task, which is where students are asked to select 4 true statements from a list of 8 by simply colouring a little circle at the end of the statement. So usually for this question students have to read the first couple of paragraphs of one of the extracts for Paper 2 and then check which of the 8 statements that the exam board gives you are the true ones. The topic of this paper is all about tattoos, which is why we have David Beckham on the front of this tutorial, because he's actually mentioned in the article. The article that we're looking at is written by a man called Tony Parsons about 10 years ago, and in his article he was writing about his reaction to tattoos, what he thinks of tattoos. So on the left-hand side here, we have the first couple of paragraphs of his article. And on the right-hand side in the box, we have the 8 statements that the exam board could give you in relation to the extract. And all I would want you to do in a second, once I've read the article, is to pause the video and to either write down the 4 sentences on the right there that are true, or just write down the 4 letters of the 4 true statements, and that would get you your 4 marks. This is different to paper 1 question 1, where you actually have to list 4 things yourself, i.e. write 4 sentences yourself. Here they give 8 statements for you and you just select 4 of them to be true. So Tony Parsons says about tattoos, "As soon as the sun starts shining, I realise with a sinking heart that Britain is now a tattooed nation. Tattoos are everywhere. You see them on firm young flesh and on wobbly middle-aged flab, as common now on the school run and in the supermarket queue as they are on some footballer or his wife. I feel like the last man alive whose skin crawls at the sight of these crass daubings. I feel like the only person in the world who sees David Beckham modelling his swimming pants on the cover of Al and thinks, 'Oh, how much better a handsome guy like you would look, David, without all those dumb ink stains stitched into your skin. I feel like nobody else looks at little Cheryl Cole, so pretty, so smiley, and recoils at the sight of the florist shop she has permanently engraved on her lovely body.'" So that's what Tony Parsons began his article by saying. So I now want you to look at the statements on the right, and like I said, I want you to select the 4 true ones, either by writing down the letter or by just writing down the sentence. So pause this video now and then I'll go through the answers. And here we have the answers. If you wrote down A, C, G and H, you would get your 4 marks because those are the 4 true statements. Why? Well, he says in his article, he mentions firm young flesh and wobbly middle-aged flab, so that suggests that he thinks adults of all ages have tattoos. That's true. The fact that he mentions the sun rising in the morning suggests that literally as soon as he wakes up, he dislikes tattoos. So from sunrise to sunset, it's clear that his dislike of tattoos is constant. So C is true. G is true because we need to know that Al is a magazine, and therefore we're using our inference skills. And clearly, if you're on the cover of Al, it means that you're showing off your tattoos on a magazine. And finally, H is true because he says that his skin crawls at the sight of these crass daubings, meaning, in other words, that he finds them unpleasant to look at. The thing to remember with this task is that they won't simply copy the sentences from the extract into your exam booklet. They will change the wording of them. So they are really testing your ability to use inference and implicit meanings. In other words, to read something and see the same idea just being expressed in different words. So B, D, E and F are false. For example, people do not get tattoos in queues in supermarkets. That's just where he sees them queuing with tattoos. Cheryl Cole was not seen inside a florist. It just looks, according to Parsons, that she has one on her back, because I think she had some large flowers put on her back about 10 years ago. Parsons isn't the only person in the world who dislikes tattoos. He just says he feels like he is, but that's obviously false. He isn't. There are others that perhaps share his view. And F is false because tattoos are not only found in specific parts of the country, because he says that Britain is a tattooed nation, which means that tattoos are everywhere. So in summary, if you had written down A, C, G or H, you would have got your 4 marks. So just remember with this question that even though it might seem simple, for example, there isn't a lot to read, that the examiner can be sneaky and they can change some of the wording and trip students up. So just check and double check that you've got the right 4 statements down. Thank you.